From the amazingly weird Alibaba EV to Honda's Fuya Joe and Morgan's Super 3, in today's video, we'll talk about 12 of the crazy, unusual, and weirdest vehicles you didn't know existed. Part 3. Let's get it going. Morgan's Super 3. Morgan's Super 3 is the three-wheeled roadster. The Super 3 is built on the same CX generation platform as the Plus 4 and Plus 6. In comparison to the previous generations, the structure improves stability and provides more space for passengers, which is nice. Wind protection for the passenger is also provided by only two modest windshields. There's no soft top available for this one. Accordingly to the IP64, all the cockpit assemblies must be dustproof and splash water resistant. The seats are permanently attached, however, the pedals and steering column may be modified to accommodate the driver's preferred seating position. The interior has full digital instrumentation with a vintage design. We think it's handsome. The Roadster itself is powered by a naturally aspirated 3-cylinder petrol engine with a displacement of 1,432 centimeters squared, that's 87 cubic inches, and an output of 87 kilowatts, 117 horsepower. The engine is positioned transverse and buried behind a hood opposite the three-wheeler. The back wheel is likewise powered by the same engine. The Super 3 accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds and has a peak speed of 130 miles per hour, 210 kilometers an hour. The Mazda MX-5 provides the 5-speed manual transmission gearbox. Weird Alibaba EV. At first glance, you could believe that this electric car is pretty simple because its appearance is rather plain. However, there is more to learn about its specifications that might change your mind. This strange EV features 4 seats, all of which face front. You'll be perplexed the first time that you see this on the road, but after you recognize its proportions, which includes the taillights, you'll be able to remember its pieces simply. Surprisingly, the front and rear parts are nearly identical. If you don't pay attention, you might be duped right away. Because their windshields are so similar, there are door instructions. The list is Honda's Fuya Joe. The bizarre Honda concept first came into its debut at the 1999 Tokyo Motor Show, but it continued to make appearances at worldwide events up until 2002. Drinking and driving are two disciplines that should never be mixed for a multitude of reasons. The Fuya Joe, on the other hand, appears to have missed that lecture because it was created for the 24-hour party environment. The Honda Fuya interior Joe's is meant to be like a nightclub. The dash design itself was influenced by the form of DJ turntables, and the floor is non-slip and spill-proof. So don't be concerned if your vodka drink and Coke go flying as you're attempting to maneuver into a turn, or just go park. If someone has too much to drink and can't keep it down, you can always spray out the interior afterwards, right? And because of the low floor level, bonus, drunks can actually easily crawl into the car. However, this Honda idea was not all about irresponsible pleasure. An eco-friendly hybrid powertrain helps to power the car. Edison Future EF1T. The Edison Future EF1T pickup idea is a strong and contemporary multi-platform pickup. It's built to function in a variety of environments, from city streets to off-road terrain. It has several amazing features and is built with usability in mind and a toolbox in the back passenger door. It has an armadillo-like shell. It's a retractable roof with solar panels built right in. When it's bright, these solar panels give an extra 15 kilometers to 20 kilometers of autonomy. It is a really large pickup itself, measuring more than 6 meters in length. It's a little over 19 feet. It also has a 440 horsepower engine in its most basic configuration. The premium version will have 690 horsepower, while the EF1TS will have 816. The Glenfron Facet. The Facet was introduced at the 1983 Motor Fair in London. The Facet's glass fiber Targa-style body was mounted on top of the original Range Rover's chassis and strengthened with tube roll cage and a cast aluminum windscreen frame to ensure you didn't lose your head in the event of a rollover. The middle piece of the Facet's roof was removable and could be stored beneath the bonnet, which was raised hydroelectrically. Front and rear bumpers protect the delicate body from collision damage, and an electrical winch can also be found on the front end. AutoZam AZ1. This Mazda AutoZam AZ1 is also known as the PG6 SA. It's a mid-engine K-Class sports automobile built and manufactured by Mazda under the AutoZam brand. Suzuki supplied both the engine and the design inspiration. The AZ1, which was produced from October 1992 to October 1994, was notable for its gull-wing doors. It was powered by the same Suzuki Source 657cc turbocharged engine that powered the Suzuki Alto, producing 65 PS, 47 kilowatt at about 6,500 RPMs, and 85 newton meters or 63 pound-feet at 4,000 RPMs. GMC Hummer EV. The 2022 GMC Hummer EV vehicle will be available in 4 model levels: Hummer EV2, Hummer EV2X, and the Hummer EV3X, and, not to mention, Edition 1. The inside of the GMC Hummer EV vehicle is clean and contemporary with unmistakable comfort. This all-electric vehicle is outfitted with a sleek Infinity roofing system that allows for open-air sailing. This unique all-electric pickup has a wheelhouse length of 135.6 inches and an overall length of 216.8 inches. The external dimensions are 20 inches shorter than those of the GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab short box pickup. And for the Hummers, the ground clearance of the Hummer EV with the normal suspension setting is enabled at 10.1 inches, which is greater than the 7.8 inches of the Sierra 1500. When terrain mode is engaged, the ground clearance increases to 11.9 when the optional extract mode setting is used. The clearance suspension is elevated by up to 8 inches and has a maximum ground clearance of 15.9 inches. This new Hummer EV truck has a furnished cabin as well. If you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's continue. Bricklin SV1. This Bricklin SV1 is a 2-seat sports automobile. It was produced from 1974 until late 1975. The automobile was notable for its gull-wing doors as well and color-impregnated acrylic resin bonded to fiberglass composite bodywork. The SV1 has a composite body that is attached to a steel perimeter frame and has integrated rollover structure built right in. Pop-up headlights, gull-wing doors, impact-absorbing bumpers, and a dual-outlet exhaust are among the features of this vehicle. The inside has brown high-backed bucket seats with button-tufted inserts, as well as air conditioning, 3-point seat belts, a rear window defogger, and FM radio. Norman Tim Special. Norman Tim Special is only 47 inches tall and has a 117-inch wheelbase with a total length of around 17 feet. It weighs less than 2,200 pounds and features an all-aluminum skin over a tube frame. It's said to be capable of 120 miles per hour. Its elegant hand-formed aluminum body has a unique 2-piece structure that allows the tail portion to extend behind the cockpit. With the rear portion raised, the gas tank, spare tire, engine, and other mechanical components are easily accessible. The hand-built aluminum body demonstrates a real designer's flair for shape and form. BMW Gina Light Visionary Model. BMW's Gina Light Visionary model is a concept automobile with a flexible fabric covering stretching over an articulating metal structure that allows the car to change its shape. The body will adapt to external circumstances and speeds, and it also allows the driver to modify its shape at a whim. The fabric is stretched across a moving frame where the forms are produced beneath the aluminum skin by a wire framework with flexible carbon struts, employing where flexibility is required. When the car is parked, the steering wheel and gauges on the center console are in a position to give the driver a simple entrance. When the driver starts the car button, the steering wheel and instruments return to their proper places, and the headrest itself lifts from the seat after the driver is seated, making it easier to get in and out of the car. If you like unique cars, give us a thumbs up. Nissan S-Cargo. The Nissan S-Cargo is a compact retro-style van produced by the Japanese carmaker Nissan between 1989 and 1991 and sold exclusively in Japan at Nissan Cherry stores. The S-Cargo made perfect sense as a utility vehicle in Japan, which also happens to be a K-car paradise due to the island's limited space. It had a total, optional dividing bench seat, a Citroen-style steering wheel for enhanced readaptability, a 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine paired to a 3-speed automatic gearbox, and air conditioning, drawing influence from the Citroen 2CV. Extra features include portable windows on both sides. Louvre Electric. The Louvre Electric, the Electric Egg, was a 3-wheeled vehicle developed in Paris in 1942 as a customized, lightweight personal vehicle by Paul Arzens, an engineer and artist. The nickname of the Egg was quickly given to this car for its unusual vehicle shape after it was spotted driving about Paris in 1942, and it was most likely the first bubble automobile. The egg-like shape was created using hand-shaped aluminum sheets and plexiglass plastic sheets on a Duralinux tube frame built by Arzens. The automobile was not painted, and because it was built of aluminum, there was no possibility of rust or corrosion, as there is with steel cars. The two plexiglass doors and curved windscreen gave remarkable views from the interiors in compact automobiles at the time. The rear cabin window was only a tiny oval resembling a porthole, since the automobile tapered at the back to hide the single tire and motor. The batteries had a range of 100 kilometers, about 63 miles, and a peak speed of 60 kilometers per hour, around 44 miles per hour with the driver alone, or 60 kilometers per hour with the driver and one passenger. The cabin had a large steering wheel and few frills, including no instruments to save weight, as seen by the single seat bench constructed atop a wicker frame. And there we have it, the adventurous and the different. Some cars were unusual and one-of-a-kind pieces, as others served a definite purpose and appearances, like a school project put together in the backyard. The vehicle world is filled with bold and bizarre attempts to differentiate vehicles from the norm. Fortunately, most of them remain concept automobiles, but others appear to have slipped through the gaps of government rules and made their way onto the streets. Surprisingly, several of these vehicles were produced by well-known automakers such as Ford and GM rather than by startups. With that, we conclude today's video, and we hope with the vehicles, the weird Alibaba EV, Honda Fuya Joe, and Morgan's Super 3, you now know much more about crazy and unusual vehicles. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 of this video series, make sure to watch them too so you don't miss out on any of these crazy, unusual, and weirdest vehicles. Until then, take care. See you in our next video.